What's up with it, y'all? I'm JP. This is Watch This Ish Reactions, where I react to a whole lot of different ish. Today, we got Fleece Johnson, the booty bandit, and he's explaining to us the first time he had to unalive a man for trying to rape him in prison. Yeah, now that you know the deal, y'all, slap that like button, subscribe with your boy, and hit that bell notification so you know when all the new content drop. With all that being said, let's go.
How do you get from being 16 and this guy is trying to take advantage of you behind bars? You have to fight him off. You're horrified by the idea of this guy raping you. How do you go from that to the point where you actually start taking advantage of other men or dipping your toe into that?
I'm going to tell you. It started when I went to Eddyville. The cell they put me in, back then they had double cells. They ain't got it no more, but I'll tell you about that later. But they put me in a cell with this big old black dude they call Big Doc. I'm talking about he was about like 6'5", weighed about 285, solid, real dark. His nose was about the size of my fist. And he had red eyes like a gorilla. And so I had a little prayer knife at that time. And when they put me in the cell with him, he was walking around and he was wearing some shorts with a lot of holes in them. So every time he moved, his dick would pop out. The head of his dick would pop out through the hole.
Hell no.
So, you know, I already know where he's going with this, right? So I said, I better say something. So I said, hey, man. See, what I didn't know, let me back it up. What I didn't know, before I moved in that cell, he had a hole in the wall.
Right.
A hole. And what he did, it took a balloon thing and put baby powder in it, blowed it up to where it's about ready to bust, and stuck it up in that hole, then took a newspaper and put some cement shit on it. When it hardened, he taped it over and then painted it, where you can't tell it's there. It looked like the wall. So he's gonna make me think he ran his hand through the wall just to get some damn ass, right?
I mean, that is such an insane level of plotting and planning to create this element that'll make it look like you're just the biggest psycho ever. Like you could just punch through a wall just so you can then scare your cellmate. And what the that's just...
Man, he scared the shit out of me.
Right.
I said, man, why don't you show me some respect?
Right.
He said, the only thing I'm going to show you is this big black cock. And he took and hit that wall. And when I seen his hand, and when I heard that boom, and his arm went up in there, and when he pulled it out and all that white shit on it, I'm thinking it's fragments of the cement or something. I ain't know it was baby powder.
You're thinking he's got superhuman strength.
Man, and when he ran up on me, he's like, stand up. I said, hey, man, can we talk about this? He said, stand up, nigga. And I stood up, and I was holding his wrist. I said, man, don't do this. So he said,
say, man, hey, do not go to prison, man. These boys in here is trying to grease you and please you by any means, and they smart, too. They will punch through the wall, make you think so anyway. They will plaster that joker like paper mache, paint over it, punch through that joker and tell you stand up and get ready for the greasing, baby. Yeah. Say, man, do not go to prison, youngsters. Y'all stay away. Hit that like button. Subscribe with your boy. Let's go.
Do I gotta fight you? I said, no. And I'm getting ready to give it to him. I'm not letting nobody run their hand through my, like he did at wall, right? But his mistake was, it saved me. He tried to kiss me.
Hell no.
I already felt his thing up against my booty and everything, but he pulled my head back and tried to stick his tongue in my mouth. And that was the nastiest feeling I ever felt in my life. And I almost regurgitated. I said, hell no. And by that time, I realized that I had that little prayer knife because I moved and it stuck me on the hip.
It's over
I
with.
said, man, he going to have to kill me. So he said, hold your head back. I said, man, no. And I pulled that knife, I just started swinging, and I was cutting it, man. I was cutting. Here's what I believe. I believe he died. See, but like I was telling you about racism back in them days, them guards, when they came to get me, I was standing there shaking, holding this knife. He's laying on the ground, cut to hell, blood everywhere. They pulled him out. They pulled him up out of there. They took me to the hole, and I'm thinking I'm getting ready to get a lot of time. But when I went in front of the disciplinary committee, they say, we know who he is, we know what he does. You'll never see him again. And they let me out of the hole that day, then dropped all the charges. Now, when all the inmates heard about this, they like, oh boy, that little young dude there, boy, you don't want to mess with him. But they don't know. I was right there. I was getting ready to give it to him.
So why do you think he was dead? Just because they said you're never going to see him again?
Say, that's crazy though to think about it. You know what I'm saying? He was getting ready to get taken advantage of, and he got out of it, scared to death. But then the booty bandit was born, baby. Fleece Johnson. Here I am. I'll be down. Let's get it.
Yeah, I never did see him again. And all the prisons in my state, I was sending letters to people. They said, no, nobody like that came to this prison. So I don't know what happened.
That's crazy. I feel like nowadays you would just find out, you would hear about it. But I guess at that time, shit just got lost.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of secret stuff, man. It was a lot of stuff that happened, like dungeons.
Like torture
Yeah,
style
yeah.
dungeons.
They was hiring people to break me. They hired this man. He did 21 years into the military interrogation. He was a captain over the interrogation of the enemy. They hired this man to come into prison and break me. And they gave him a house across the street from the prison, and he put word out, anytime I act up, ain't nobody to deal with him but him. So he did waterboarding with me. But I tricked him on that because when I was in the hole, they gave me 12 years in the hole. Well, 27 years, I ended up doing 12.
Damn.
And ain't nobody ever had that type of, never
12
did that
years
type
in
of
the
time
hole?
in that prison, in the hole.
You spent 12 years alone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And most of it naked. You know, fighting the guards coming through, take my food tray, say, Fleece, here's your food. Boom. And just throw it through the bars like that. And I got to it off the floor and off the walls and stuff to eat it, right? I said, okay, I'm going to get you. And I always got them. I get back at them. So that's the type of fighting we was doing in there.
Hell no.
What happened was,
Ain't no way.
I started winning. When I started throwing that duty on them, it scared them so bad, and they kept running to the lawmakers in Frankfurt. Can y'all do something about this? They said, no, you work there at your own risk. For 6 years, I threw duty on them and had all the inmates to do it too. And I'm talking about all of them, nurses, doctors, guards. They brought people in from the our state capitol building, corrections cabinet department. They come in wearing them suits and stuff and leave out covered in shit. I did all that. And when they made it a felony, that's when I stopped. You know. But by that time, man, I was controlling the prison at that time.
I mean, it really says a lot that you can take men who have literally nothing. In some cases, they're naked, they're alone, and that they're still going to find some way to fight back, even if it's to take the only weapon that they have, which is the shit coming out of their own asses, and that will be how they fight back. Like, it's crazy that they couldn't kill your spirit enough to just make you just give in. You still were going to take the last possible resource you had and fight back with it.
Well, the guy that they hired to break me, he died trying to break me in the penitentiary. His heart busted. I said to her, I said to myself, I said, you know what? Y'all call him, tell him, man, I'm done. I was getting ready to give in. That man took me through some torturous stuff. And when he came over, he said, you want to see me? I said, yeah. I'll never forget it. He had a pack of non-filter Camel cigarettes. He took out his pocket, did like that. And when he lit it, his body he buckled. And he left and went on outside my door on the side of the wall. I said, oh, shit. Something is wrong with his heart. And when he came back around that corner, I said, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to bust your heart. You'll die messing with me. And I spit in his face, and it was on. So we went through another big fight, and then 3 days later, they come through, said he died. He was dead.
There y'all have it. Fleece Johnson, the booty bandit, takes us down through there on the time that he had to unalive a man that tried to rape him in prison. Y'all heard it. Y'all saw it. It was what it was. Hey, man, y'all slap that like button, subscribe with your dog, and continue to rock with me so you can watch. This is